I have more spiritual protection than the Pope himself. Who am I and why am I so important to God? I'll get to that in a moment. But first, if this is the first time you're seeing my mug, I highly suggest you head back to the intro. Figure out if you want to be here. If so, start at part 1, do the work, and then meet us back here when you caught up. For everyone else, this is part 98. And for those of you that didn't go back to the intro, I am God's Earth Angel. All right, I'm not giving you guys this information just to brag. I actually gave you this information because I want you to know how important it is to God and how important it is to your soul to get those 7 keys to get into heaven. And of course, I've told you guys in the past, not for those of you that didn't go back to the intro, for those of you that just decided to jump in at part 98, as I've said in the past, it is your soul's goal to get those 7 gifts and to become an Earth Angel. The only problem is since mankind was created by God, only 12 other souls before me has met the requirements for God to turn them into an angel here on Earth. I am number 13. So now let's get back to the Pope. Basically, the Pope is a soul just like you who came to Earth to get those 7 gifts. Now, I know how many gifts the Pope has, but it's none of your business. So I'm not going to tell you. But because he does not have all 7 gifts, I do know he will have to come back to Earth for another lifetime to continue to work on his gifts. Because he doesn't have all 7 gifts in this lifetime, he has guides, which is amazing. And I also know how many guides he has, which is still none of your business. But basically, he has guides. As I've said in the past, guides are souls, just like you, who keep coming back to Earth to spiritually grow to get those 7 keys. So when you pass in this lifetime, if you don't have your 7 gifts and they're not active, like I said, you have to reincarnate. So you'll go into like a peaceful holding space. Like I said, you do have to do work. You have to help others. You have to guide others. So his guides are just souls waiting to reincarnate. Guides don't stay with you for a whole lifetime, just the amount of guides you have. So for example, the amount of guides that the Pope has will never change. But because a soul only has to wait 7 years to reincarnate, he will have different guides watching over him throughout his life. It won't be the same guides that he had from birth. Now, the Pope is amazing. He dedicated his whole life to God. So I, by any means, am not taking away from his greatness. I just want you guys to know how somebody who is so important to us here on Earth is just like you. He's just another soul here working on getting those 7 gifts. The only thing is, just like you, he doesn't know it. So because I am an Earth Angel, I don't have guides. As soon as I collected all my 7 gifts, my guides fell away and I got 5 angels. Now, once I met the requirements to become an Earth Angel, my 5 angels fell away and I got 3 archangels. I'm not going to go too far back into the details because if you want the details, you need to go back to the intro and start at part 1 and do the work like everybody else did the work. But as for protection, the Pope, who is very important to us, he dedicated his whole life to God and he is who we look for direction. He has guides to protect him here on Earth. Those who collect those 7 gifts, their guides fall away and they get those 5 angels. Like, why wouldn't you want 5 angels protecting you during the darkest days here on Earth? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want that? Now, the highest level as a soul that you can reach here on Earth is to become an Earth Angel. A little bit of a backtrack. Once you get those 7 gifts and they become active in a lifetime, when you pass from that lifetime, you will then, for the first time, ascend toward heaven. before you can go into heaven, God will turn you into an angel, and then you will be able to enter heaven because you have those 7 keys. If you get the 7 gifts here on earth and meet the requirements, which once again, you're going to go back for, we're not going to discuss that, and meet the additional requirements, God here on earth, while you're sleeping, will turn you into an angel. Which of course gave me the protection of 3 archangels, which will be by my side, will never leave my side until the day I die. And of course, when I pass from this life, from the time I start ascending, my body dies and I start to ascend toward heaven, trumpets will play, bells will ring, and my 3 archangels will escort me to heaven. So the only way to be protected spiritually here on earth is to get those 7 gifts, one even better, to become an earth angel, because then you also get to protect your children and those who you love so much. So yeah, that also means that my children, who each one of my children have their own 5 angels, also has more protection than the Pope himself. So we're a little confused on what we're supposed to be doing here, but to be fair, nobody's ever told us really what we're doing here. We just all know that we live life. We think that we need to financially level up. We think that that's how we level up, to, have money, to have fame, to be somebody, right? Our name. We're a little wrong on that. That's why there hasn't been many earth angels, because we don't even know what we're doing here, really. But it's not like the former 12 earth angels before me was gatekeeping the information. They didn't even know they were earth angels. So for the first time in history of mankind, we now know why we're here. I made spiritual history. So I just want you guys to know, you shouldn't be worried about financially being at a certain level. You shouldn't worry about what other people think about you. You shouldn't be worried about where anybody else is or what anybody else is doing. Honestly, your only concern should be becoming a better person and meeting those 7 requirements. You're not even going to be with these same people or doing life with these same people next lifetime. Unless they're your soulmate and you actually find them, because, there's that. But if they're not your soulmate, even if they're a child or if they're a parent or if they're, an aunt or uncle or a cousin, you're not going to do life with them again. And if you do, you're not going to remember. So the thing is in this world where we're so concerned with others, in the end, it all boils down to you. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Well, slightly your soulmate. I'll get to that. All that matters is you leveling up spiritually. That's the only thing that matters. Who cares about financial? Who cares about having a big house? Who cares about having a nice car? Who cares about having a ton of friends? You guys are going down the wrong path. If that's what your concern is, or if that's what you think you need to level up in this lifetime. To level up to the highest level that you can achieve in this lifetime, you need those 7 gifts, and you need to become an earth angel. So your goal every day when you step foot out of that bed, because God's blessed you with another day, you better not be wasting your time, your precious time you have here, worrying about things that you're not taking with you when you leave this earth. The only thing you get to take with you, if you're lucky enough to still own it, is your soul. And the only thing you're going to do for eternity is work on getting those 7 gifts. So don't sabotage yourself. You're here for a reason. So make yourself proud. Work on becoming a better soul. Make your soulmate proud. I'll get to that later. Choose to not be a shitty person. Choose love. Choose the light. God bless.